Why do I make content about Japan even though I live in Poland? Actually, let's go even deeper. Why do I choose to live in Poland after spending a ton of money, resources, time in traveling to Japan, in learning Japanese, and those are my 5 reasons why I preferred Poland over Japan. Bureaucracy. So I've now lived through 2 migration experiences. I have a lot to compare. Let's start with paperwork because the difference is huge. Let me explain on an example of making yourself a local phone number. When I arrived to Poland, all I had to do to get myself a local SIM is go to Żabka, which is a name of local convenience stores, get myself a SIM card at the cash register, show my passport, and that's it. Now I have Polish phone number. I can charge it, I can choose the tariff I want, I can stop using it, and that's all what's required. Also, it's super cheap. I pay like 10 euros, around 10 bucks monthly for phone calls, text messages, access to the internet, so it's super cheap. In Japan, I had absolutely different experience. Firstly, I had to look for a company that provides SIM cards to foreigners. Then I had to go to their office. I couldn't buy SIM card over the counter. I had to go to their office during their working hours and sign a contract. A contract that had so many rules, so many fees. For instance, if you sign a contract for 6 months and you had to cancel it earlier, you have to pay a fee. And also, you have to prolong it every time. Like if you sign for a year, next year you have to prolong it. If you leave the country and stop using this SIM card, you have to go to the same office, cancel the contract and return them a SIM card and tell them, I'm stopping using your service. And I paid around 30 bucks for the first 3 months because there was a discount. And also I didn't have unlimited internet. If I hit internet's limit, I still had access to internet, but it was super slow, it was annoying, and you couldn't even, like, if you want to pay for more internet, it wasn't possible because you can use it only with a contract that you signed. So it was crazy and annoying. Okay, but SIM card is not a deal breaker. It can be a minor inconvenience. What actually shocked me when I arrived to Poland is how easy it was to make here a bank account, how easy it was to open it. When I arrived here, I needed to rent an apartment and I just pick up bank, go there. I needed 3 documents. I needed my passport, my phone number, and I needed a Polish identification number. It's super easy to make. It's the first thing you do when you arrive to Poland is making this number. I had to fill some papers and I got my account and my card at the same day, at the same table. It was like, wow, it was so quick. And also at the same moment they told me how to use bank's mobile app and what can you do. And again, it happened in one day, in a span of 1 hour. I was like, oh my god, it's so quick. Oh my god, it's so cool. Japan experience on the other side wasn't cool like that. In Japan, again, I had to look for a bank that provided services for foreigners. Then I went to this bank and I had a long conversation in Japanese with the manager. Then I had to fill a lot of paperwork. I was filling something in, they were taking those papers, going somewhere, returning, and I keep filling them in. So I filled bunch of papers. They took those papers, put them into the envelope, and gave it to me and told me that I have to put this envelope into a real life post box, which I did. Then in a week I received a letter from a bank with a physical card, and I had to activate this card through online website. There were instructions in Japanese, and I'll have to confess I didn't figure out how to activate this card. I tried so hard. I called support. I asked people who read better Japanese than I. Maybe I was lack of something. I don't know. I didn't activate this card, so I gave up. The only thing I achieved after going to this bank, going through this papers conversation, I got a card where I could receive my salary. And the only thing I could do with this card is to receive money and to withdraw them from ATM machine. I couldn't use it as a card. I couldn't tap it. I couldn't use this number. It was just a card to receive my salary and withdraw cash. Speaking of salaries, here's my next reason why I prefer staying in Poland. The job market. The job market is rough pretty much everywhere right now. But Poland surprised me. Big brands like Google, Meta, Netflix, they have offices in Warsaw. There are a lot of tech companies, startups, other big brands around the country. So if you have skills, confirmed skills and experiences, there is a high chance that you'll get a job, which happened to me because I have 13 years experience in SEO, and also I have Japanese language as an additional knowledge. That's why I found a job pretty quickly. I have a video about it. You can watch it after you finish this one. But even though I just said all of that, I have confession to make. I consider it working for Japan again. I talked to recruiters, I went through LinkedIn, I went through job search websites, and I applied to some places, but even going through positions description, I could tell that with Japan's current economic situation and weak yen, the salaries couldn't compete with what I could earn in Poland. But I actually had even one interview. It didn't went well, but I was just testing the waters and they didn't offer visa support anyway. So, talking about visas. Visas. Please celebrate with me. Last month I received my 3 years temporary residential card in Poland. It's the longest one you can get in one go, and I got it for 3 years on my first try. I'm so excited. I used to live here as a refugee under EU temporary protection law, so I don't have it anymore. I'm not a refugee anymore. Now I have a status connected to my employment status, and I'm so proud of myself. So please leave me a comment that you are also proud of me, because I worked so hard for it. Japan, on the other hand, known for not providing long-term visas for foreigners. I have friends who have stable jobs or spouses, yet they still have to renew their visa yearly, which is annoying and also puts some additional pressure on you, and you're under pressure as an immigrant anyway. I personally stayed in Japan only as a student with a student visa. I had a job in Japan that was promising me a visa sponsorship, but it didn't go well. I have a video about it, so you can watch it later. My community. Unpopular opinion. You can build a community of friends in Japan. I did. It's one of the reasons I go there so much, because some of my friends let me stay at their places for free, and when you travel to Japan without budget on lodging, it can cost, cheaper than staying in a touristy country in Europe. Like going to Tokyo can cost me less if I go to Barcelona or Lisbon, but all my close friends, my family, my social network, my social support system, they all live in Europe or in Poland. So they all here, not there. For me, it's much easier to see them if I live in Poland myself, because it's easy to book a flight, to buy a train ticket, to buy a bus ticket. And also, since I travel to Japan annually, I can see, like, through the year, I can travel around Europe and see my social support system, my close friends and family. And once a year, I see my Japanese friends. So if I lived in Japan, I couldn't do that the other way around, because my friends and family from Europe and Poland, they wouldn't be able to visit me so often in Japan because it's too far away. You need to plan it so much. My social support system is a basis of my physical and mental health. If I name the main reason why I prefer living in Poland instead of Japan, it's going to be the next one. My health. This is not a rant about Japanese healthcare. I never had any issues with it. I had health insurance and it was working perfectly fine. Hospitals and doctors were cheap, they were very helpful, they were very nice. I didn't have any bad experience with Japanese healthcare. But I was in a lot of hospitals because I was always sick when I lived in Japan. I was having a fever, I was having issues with my stomach, I was having issues with my skin, headaches. Like, I was always sick. Something always was wrong with me when I was living there. Maybe it was stress, maybe it was climate, or combination of all of those things. Even now, when I travel there for a short time, sometimes, not always, sometimes, I still get skin infections that I don't get anywhere around the world. Like, I never got those kind of skin infections. I even know the word hifuka, which means dermatologist, because I always had to go to the doctor so he can prescribe me a certain cream to heal skin infection. In Poland, I have the opposite experience. I've been living here for 4 years, and my first 2 years in Poland, I didn't even catch a cold. I didn't have a cold for 2 years. It's my record so far, because usually I get a cold at least once a year during winter or during autumn. Some of my friends who've been living in Japan for many years, they also told me that their first year they were sick a lot, but then they adapted. So I guess maybe first year required some adaptation. Some of them also later, after a couple of years, developed newer allergies they didn't have before, and most of them started to have the allergy called kafunsho. It's hay fever. The only question that I need to answer in this video: so if I like Poland so much, why do I make videos about Japan? Why do I make videos about Japan? I actually started this channel when I was unemployed, and back then I had no idea if my future would stay connected to Poland. But no matter where I lived, one thing never changed. I kept traveling to Japan and I kept loving anime and manga. So I created this channel to help people travel to Japan, discover anime and manga beyond the mainstream titles, and hopefully build a community around those interests. But now I'm planning to stay in Poland long term, and I also want to share more about this country. So let's make a deal. If this video gets at least 1000 views and 100 likes, I'll make more videos about Poland, because trust me, I have a lot to say. Thank you for watching this video. If you want more, you can check out my video about how I introduced Poland to a Japanese mangaka. I make videos about Japan, my life in general, anime and manga, so consider to subscribe, leave me a like. I'm already working on my next video, so see you in the next one!